Hey everyone, I'm here with Rusty Mullet, along with my co-host DJ Sunny.
What's up?
So to start off, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
AJ.
Uh, I'm AJ. I play guitar and sing.
I'm John. I play bass and sing.
Hey, I'm Sunny, and I drum, and I don't sing.
We're really excited to have you guys on. We've played you a little bit before, so let's start off with why don't you guys tell us a bit about how you got started?
So we got started. John and I met in 2016.
Wow.
4 years ago at the beginning of college in like a group chat online through talking, whatever. Me and John like kind of put together a little band. There used to be different members in it, but either way, like John and I put it together and yeah, it just kind of started out as jamming, and then we played like a little show together. Not even really a show. It was like 2 songs in a coffee house, but people responded pretty well, and so we kept going, and it's been that since. Obviously, Sunny joined us a little over a year ago. Our first drummer to be with us for over a year.
Yeah, the longest drummer.
Fantastic. So yeah, no, that's how we've gotten to here.
And
That's
you recorded your first album in a cafeteria, right?
Yeah, in the dining hall at our school.
Nice.
Oh, that must have been awful for acoustics.
Yeah, it wasn't awesome.
There's nothing
Hey, you do what you gotta.
Do what you gotta do.
We've
I mean, we're
improved a
doing this
little
show
bit.
from our bedrooms, so we make do.
Yeah.
Hey, exactly.
We work with what we got.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about like what kind of music you play?
I have to answer that one. Okay. We like a little bit of everything. I mean, I feel like we all bring different influences to the table, but we all definitely have some common ground and some like punk stuff, some like psychedelic, I'd say.
Yeah, a little bit of metal,
Yeah, like
a little bit of
not getting
folk.
crazy, but
A little crazy.
dabbling.
Like,
Yeah.
like a little crazy. Crazy
Nice.
enough.
We
Just a
definitely
bit of
all
crazy.
we definitely all have our own musical influences. I'd say all of us don't listen to the same type of music for sure.
Yeah.
And that just melds into this crazy weird. People have we got a review once, and they called us blues punk, right?
Yeah, it's
I've
like
never heard of that.
blues
Yeah.
punk.
Awesome.
Yeah, like
From the
I don't
music
know,
we
that's-
played last week, that sounds kind of fitting in a
Mhm.
weird way.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, I guess if you just jammed up like stereotypical like blues rock and like stereotypical grunge and punk, that's like what it is. Sometimes it's a
Great.
little bit
Cool.
further in either direction, but like, yeah, that's what
Awesome.
it is.
That's awesome. How does songwriting work for you guys? Does one person do your songwriting? Do you work together and kind of merge your influences together?
You definitely like start it and then like filter it through me.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely become like a lot more band involved over the years. It used to be like most of the stuff was coming from me, but I think we all found that just got boring after a while. Because like I don't know, pretty much our first album was like mostly written by me, but after that we kind of just got rid of that, especially once the other guitarist left. And it was just 3 of us. Then John and I started working more so and stuff together. Like I would come up with like guitar and vocals, and then like have John come up with the bass part, and then we'd kind of like come up with a drum part together for the drummer. But then as of lately, like super duper recently, we've just been basically like jamming all 3 of us to practice, and then like we'll kind of be like, oh, that sounds cool. So like I feel like now songs kind of come from anywhere. Like our last project, John wrote 1 or 2 of the songs.
Which was our last project?
RPM. You wrote RPM, and did you write another one? I don't remember.
I feel so we worked on Strawberry Milkshake together a lot.
Yeah.
So like the last one, definitely, John had more stuff that was coming strictly from him. And as of lately, I mean, it's just like whatever. If one of us comes up with a song, that's cool. If all of us come up with it, that's cool. It's just like it depends. But yeah, it's definitely become more of a band effort.
Mm-hmm. And we even dig up old ideas that AJ that you wrote like a long time ago, and we just happen to revamp it. We just jam on it, and then it just turns into something completely new.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So, just a question for I guess all of you, just generally now. A lot of musicians have been trying to keep it going throughout this whole quarantine and crisis. How have you guys been? Have you guys been? I guess is the end of the question. Have you still
Dying
been
on
playing?
the inside.
We really haven't been doing much. I mean, I can
Mhm.
speak for John and AJ, but being separated by geological distance and I don't have access to a drum kit being the drummer, I've kind of not been doing anything musical as of late. Just so sad.
So sad.
Aw.
I can't wait to
Aw.
play again.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, what about you?
I've just been cooking up stuff on my own. Nothing of note, but
Yeah.
cooking nonetheless.
I usually like work on some stuff on the side, like by myself. I've been doing that a lot more because, like, obviously I don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
So like I've been doing that, and I don't know, for like the first month of quarantine, it was really fun to like revisit being by myself. But now it's just really annoying. Oops, sorry. Now it's just really annoying.
No worries,
I
guys.
haven't played through my amp. I've just been playing through an interface and my tiny speakers, and I haven't actually like heard my guitar with like distortion in a room loud, and I miss hearing the drums, and like I just miss playing with Sonny and John. It's just really, it's just so boring.
Aww.
To play like our practice once a week, and if we have a show, is like my light at the end of the tunnel every week,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
just like sucks not having that.
We had so much planned.
So much planned.
Yeah.
We had so
We're
much
supposed to be
planned.
opening for Lazy
Today,
Ghost.
tonight.
Literally tonight, we were supposed to
Wait,
be opening from a
was
band
today the
from Canada.
day? Oh
And, like,
shoot.
We were supposed to have the Earth Day Festival, and we were supposed to be recording a single right now, but
Oh,
I'm
all of
so
that
sorry.
is
It definitely is a tough time for musicians,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I absolutely.
But hey, it's gonna pop off once things get rolling
Things
again.
are back. Yeah, we're going.
oh, absolutely.
Here's a fun question. If there are people listening who really like your music and want to be able to know more about how to find you once quarantine is over, is there any way they could like find you on social media or something?
Yeah. So on basically Instagram is like anything you need to know about us. It's gonna be on our Instagram, which is Rust or Death. And so yeah, our links to our music there. You can get to our merch through there.
Spotify, I guess, the best way to
Spotify
listen.
is the best way to listen, but we're on Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon Music, yada yada yada.
Or even
Awesome.
on Prime Music.
Even on Prime Music, yes. And we have we're on like Deezer. in case you're in the gutter listening to Deezer.
To get 'em,
I've never even heard of it, so
Yeah, it's a good thing.
We like to make sure we get that plug in there so people can
Yeah.
find you.
this is more for my personal information. How long does it take, and what's the process between starting to maybe write something or saying, "Hey, that kind of worked," and the beginning of a song and to the end to you releasing it?
To releasing it, okay. I would say like honestly, like John and I have been together for what, 3 releases now. So I'd say from like
6 months for something to go from concept to
like release. Yeah, about 6 months. We honestly like this is probably this is the first year. Since we've been doing this project, we've released something every year. The first year we released an album, second year we released an album, and then third year last year we released like a 6-track EP. So honestly, that's just kind of the process. But usually, like, once we get something out, we spend about 6 months just trying to like play as many shows as we can. But between just jamming and us writing songs individually, stuff just starts to pile up, and we kind of need to like get it out. So usually once songs start to get written and jams start to get, oh, I like that too. Like, yeah, John said, probably about 6 months until we like have the songs down and we have a plan to record them and, all that stuff in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So do you plan stuff out and then say, "Hey, we're going to record all of this stuff at this time," and then sit down and kind of bang it all out? Or do you record things and then slowly build up, like, "Oh, let's do this song we recorded 2 months ago, this one 1 month ago"? What's the process for getting all of that into an album?
I'd say ideally let it build up, but with our most recent one, we had 8 studio hours, so we really had to be on on our game.
Yeah, we actually recorded our last project in a professional studio, which was pretty swanky. We just happened to have some funds lying around, so we took advantage of that. Of course, going up to it, we had some song ideas really fleshed out. Going into the recording process, we pretty much always have everything's solid by then. We're not still thinking of ideas. We're not still rating it. I mean, sometimes, we hadn't written lyrics until the day of one
RPM,
song.
John's song RPM, that she spent 2 months telling me, "Oh, I'll finish the lyrics for you so you have them when we record." And we were in the studio, and John's like, "All right,
I'm going to a Chinese restaurant. Me and Sonny went and wrote the end of the lyrics.
Yeah,
AJ was recording a different song's lyrics.
Yeah, we left the studio, John and I. We went and got Chinese food while AJ was recording lyrics. And then we wrote the rest of the song.
Oh my god. Oh, talk about leaving it to the last minute.
Yeah, literally the last possible minute.
I think that's the only instance of that happening recently.
We're pretty good. We're pretty good otherwise. But I think ideally, whenever we do our next recording, we're just trying to do a couple singles next so we can like really spend a lot of time like digging into the songs. And instead of doing it in the studio, we're gonna try and do it like in our normal practice space, like we did our first two projects, but we have a lot better equipment to record on our own now. So I think we're gonna try and do that because, like John said, ideally, like being able to like, all right, we know the rhythm guitar, the bass, and the drums. Like, let's just track that, but then like spend time actually like filling in the lines and like, adding some like really cool intricate lead stuff and some atmospheric stuff, yada yada yada, because that stuff is there on our first two projects because we had all that time, we recorded it ourselves. But the second project, like John said, we were kind of like on the clock, so there wasn't really as much room for interpretation. It was like, these are the songs, bass, drum, guitar, vocals, like track it, done,
get out.
Yeah. We were actually recorded that whole album live, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
The only thing overdubbed is like lead guitar and vocals, but everything else was just tracked.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't have to do that in the future.
So earlier you guys mentioned that you kind of have an amalgamation of a couple different sounds, and you said that you all have different music tastes. So I was wondering, for each of you, what would you say some of your biggest music inspirations are?
You can go first.
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question, but it's okay. I'd say like my foundations, like very like what I was obsessed with in like high school and whatnot. And like, I don't know, basically around the time that Rusty Mullet was starting, a lot of like Jimi Hendrix and Nirvana and just like basic, but like Big Thief, the Growlers are like two huge bands for me. Big Thief is like folk rock and the Growlers make like surfy, like beachy, like garage rock type of crap. And then the Witches are like the psychedelic punk band from England. They were also, I was like super big into them when Rusty Mullet was like starting up. As of recently, I don't know. I've been listening to just a lot of strange music, a lot of noise music, like The Garden, and I've been listening to like some noise punk, and just like weird anti-pop, like 100 Gex, and like
Oh my goodness! I wish our DJ Craw was here. He will not stop talking about.
I love 100 Gex.
Oh, we've heard him a couple times.
Yeah, no, I love them, but that's what I've been digging on as of recent.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Does anyone else want to answer that one?
Oh yeah, duh.
You got one, John? Or I can go.
Yeah, I guess a lot of stuff that I listen to comes from like that 90s alt rock sound. Soundgarden's probably like my biggest influence. A lot of Nine Inch Nails and stuff. And over like the last year or so, I've gotten really into P-Funk. So like funk's actually become, like I'd say my biggest growth since the start of the band has been like really incorporating the one into like my musical taste.
Cool.
That's right. John's been getting really funky lately.
Super funky.
But I've always called John new metal dad.
New metal incarnate.
New metal incarnate.
New metal incarnate. He just loves his new metal.
I do. Even
Porn
aliens.
is our Lord and Savior. I guess as for me, like the stuff I listened to in high school was all really weird. I was one of those I was just a weird kid who took pride in the weird music that I listened to. I would purposely not listen to mainstream because I was that type of edgy kid.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, I listened to oh, that's right. We went to high school together.
We did, yes.
Yeah,
I've been.
jeez.
I went to your house a couple times.
That's right. But yeah, I listened to a lot of math metal. I listened to Meshuggah a lot.
Ooh.
Um, I'm really trying to think of other stuff in high school, but Meshuggah was the main thing that stood out. And then that followed me. I still listen to them a lot. And I've dived into minimalist funk a lot. Wolfpack, they're getting really popular these days, and they're amazing.
We have done something with that band
Wolfpack?
as the station.
Really? Oh
We've
my
done
God.
something.
That's super cool.
That's
That name
amazing.
sounds insanely familiar to me.
Please
Someone
look
did
them up.
Someone might have gone to a concert and got pictures. Someone might have done an interview.
Yeah,
Something.
they
Something.
started
Don't-
as a really underground thing.
Yeah.
Don't they have a? I think they have a sticker in the office. Yeah.
So one kind of tradition that we do on Poptarts in my VCR, we've been doing it for about a year and a half now, is anytime someone comes on our show, we hear a lot of negativity on the radio, and especially today, every time you go to any news source, it's just blaring some negative news. So we have everyone do a happy moment of the last week. You're going to tell us one good thing that happened this last week. And if you lie and say it was 2 weeks ago, we won't know. So just anything you feel like saying.
Makes a lot.
And because I'll give you guys a second to think, Julie, what was your happy moment of the week?
Oh,
Alright,
you're putting me
okay.
on the spot. Didn't we already do this in this show?
You knew
What do
it
you
was
mean this
coming.
is a pre-recorded thing and I'm not live on the air? Oh crap! That means I'm gonna have to think of another one tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Sonny, how could you do this to me? Oh, all right. My happy moment of the week. I'm trying to start reading again. I just started a new book. I'm only like 8 pages in. I'm not far in it at all. It's called The Atrocity Archives. I cannot remember the author's name, but it's a really weird book. It's a little bit. It came out in 2004, and it's part of a whole series. If anyone's familiar with the generic secret organization that protects the world from stuff, like we've all seen shows and media around for that forever. It's similar to
yeah.
that. There's this organization that, and it's about the secret agent that does missions and stuff, and it's a little bit of a mix of Lovecraftian horror with some more sci-fi, and also
I've read this. I've read part of this.
yeah,
I just looked it up.
It's like Lovecraftian horror meets sci-fi meets
Dry British humor.
dry British humor meets corporate America.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like a lot. That's a lot of media.
It's really cool. I'm really liking it so far. So it's from 2004. So it's the guy like he's breaking into a place and it's like he has to check his pager and it's like and then he has to say like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to file a report about that. It's kind of like that generic dry humor. I love that. Like the Office UK version, I love it. So I'm super excited to get into that.
That's a good happy
awesome.
moment.
Let me see if
All
I
right.
can find. Oh, hang on. I gotta read this because it's hilarious.
Oh,
If I
okay.
can find the tagline for it. It's so funny. The tagline is "Saving the world is Bob Howard's job. There are a surprising number of meetings involved."
A lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork.
Oh, I can't wait to get into it. That's my happy moment.
The last time I read that, I was reading that book. It was in high school, and I had the book with me, and I think I went to some sort of school event and I lost it outside.
Oh,
That's sad.
I'll lend you my copy
So-
eventually.
I think it's destined that you mentioned the name here because I've always wanted to finish that book.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Okay, Sunny, what's your happy moment of the week?
So throughout all of quarantine, it's been kind of hard figuring out what to do when you're stuck inside. And so my fiance and I have been spending a lot of time going outside and going on walks to places. And recently, in the last couple of weeks, we discovered this wonderful new place that we have been calling one of our favorite new escapes from life. Just whenever we have a free day, 70% of the time we end up going there in some shape or form. It's the Blackstone Gorge. It's just a beautiful waterfall leading down to a really nice winding river, and it has a bunch of paths along the side of it, and they're all really tiny, and there's tons of these little alcoves that you can just hang out in. And every time we go there, we find a new spot. And yeah, we just end up going there and spending hours just chilling by the river, watching stuff flow by. I fell in the river the other day. I soaked my shoes and they just dried out. But it was wonderful.
That sounds beautiful.
So that's been my happy moments.
Awesome. AJ, what about you?
I would say, wow. Oh, I don't know what you call them, but someone brought me flowers recently. They're actually right here. They're almost
No way.
But somebody brought me flowers, and it was super nice because I actually don't think anyone's ever gotten me flowers before. So
that's amazing.
It was quite nice.
Oh, I'm gonna get you flowers, AJ.
Oh, my heart.
You are a delicate flower. You're gorgeous.
Thank you.
And what about you, John?
I have not fallen off my bike in the last week, and I'm going on, I think, a 9-year streak of not falling off. So it's pretty good.
Nice.
9 years since the man's fallen off his bike. Would you look at that?
Congratulations.
That's what you call focus, ladies and gentlemen.
Determination.
Like what he doesn't mention is it's because he hasn't ridden a bike in 9 years.
Are you wearing a bike shirt right now too?
It's a kiwi.
It's a kiwi on a kiwi.
Oh, that's adorable.
Fun fact, John loves kiwis, the birds. I don't know if you like the fruit. The birds are definitely better. Okay,
I love that.
I like the fruit better, but the birds are cool too.
That's
I didn't
awesome.
know this
I
John
love that
fact.
shirt.
Yeah, no, John likes some kiwis. John likes some kiwis.
Lovely. Cool.
Molly, I believe that leaves you for Happy Moment of the Week.
Oh, I actually today Amazon came and dropped off sunflower seeds, and I'm gonna plant them tomorrow. I'm super excited about that.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
So I guess getting them, Happy Moment of the Week.
I'm excited to hear about those more in the future.
Me too.
What's the dream? Like not say goal, but kind of like if you had your choice, could be somewhere to play, could be something you want to do, could be something you want to make happen. What would be your band related dream?
I
have an answer.
I don't know if we all have the same answer to that question.
We definitely don't.
That's totally fine.
I think we all have our own vision for the band, but that's fine. Like,
yeah, I feel like we should all say it.
John, go ahead. What's yours?
So, like, I would say, like, in terms of success levels, like, think like Dinosaur Jr., like, they made it and they still play today. But at the same time, they can go to the grocery store and not be recognized. Like, I want to be, like, noticed, but not noticed too much.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, like, that's the same place I'm in. Overall, with my life, I just want to be a musician because I feel like that's the only thing that I'm good at and that doesn't make me miserable at any point in time to do. So, like, that's what I want to do. Ideally, it'd be with Rusty Mullet because, I don't know, like, put a lot of work into this band and, like, I enjoy the music that we play very much. But like John said, I don't really ever want to be, like, mega big or anything like that. I want to be big enough to the point where, like, music can be my job and, like, you know, we got ourselves a nice little record contract and we could tour the US and tour Europe and, like, you know, be big enough to do that. But yeah, I don't want any sort of like mainstream or like super large success, I still want to be able to have like a normal life.
I want to be able to go to the supermarket for myself.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
You-
none,
y-
none
yeah.
of that mega game crap.
That makes sense.
I
Like
guess
you want
we're
to
all.
be
Go ahead.
big, but kind of like in a circle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Like
I totally
big
get that. I don't want to
festival,
be famous.
you know?
That sounds awful.
Being famous sounds terrifying. Yeah.
Oh,
I guess we're all kind of giving the same answer.
Yeah,
Even
we
though it's-
are.
but,
So we're good.
We're like we're not on the same page, and then we give the exact same answer.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it.
I would love to play house shows for the rest of my life.
Oh, we can only make so much money when the house caps at 50 people.
We're
True,
drinking
true,
Wendy's every day for the rest of our lives.
No, but if we can keep the vibe. Honestly, that's the other thing. Like, if we maintain like the level of venues that I like think would be fun to play is like the Sinclair in Cambridge. I don't know if you've ever been there.
That's
like,
the goal.
I
That's the
haven't.
goal right there.
like 800 room cap. Like that's perfect. I don't want some giant place where I can't see the people in the front row. Like that stuff's just weird to me. I want like the people to be like near
Engaged.
me.
Yeah.
I want to feel their body heat. Not to be weird.
Because we sure do feel it at house shows.
Yes, we do.
Oh boy. All right, so now we're gonna take a break. We're gonna listen to some of their music. Why don't you guys go ahead and tell us what you're listening to?
This song is called Nude Sadness.
By Rusty Mullet.
On 91.5 FM.
All right, welcome back. We're now going to finish up our interview with Rusty Mullet. So, why don't you guys tell us? So the three of you have been together as all part of Rusty Mullet for about a year, right?
Oh yeah, like a year and a half, pretty much. Yeah.
All right, so there's got to be something funny that came out of that. What is a funny story, something that's happened to you guys
Oh man, there's
together
a couple
as a
funny
band?
stories. When was pretty funny.
Why?
The guy with the orange camo pants, but I don't think we can talk about that one.
The Mullet guys know how.
Yes. Okay. We were on tour, and Sonny and I decided to. And Sonny's fiance Mac was also on tour with us as like our photographer and like help us carry stuff and just help us stay sane. Yada yada yada. So
Our
we all
band
went outside.
manager.
John was in the hotel room.
I was like brushing my teeth or something.
It was nighttime. We just went outside to grab some air, and a couple doors down at this motel, the door opened and one girl walked out, and she was like fine, like she was walking very purposefully to her car. She unlocked her car, and she got in and started it and began to drive away. And shortly after her, there was a procession of like drunk, naked men, like falling on the ground, like walking after her, like trying to get her to come back. And she like wasn't having it. I don't know what was going on, but I don't know. It was just one of the strangest things. And I remember Sonny and I just kind of like looking at each other like, you see that too, right?
That's incredible.
One of my favorrit stories.
It was like a clown car moment.
I have so many questions.
John thought we were crazy.
And so few answers.
Oh, I will never be fulfilled now. I need to know, but oh.
The world may never know.
The world may never know.
All right, so is there anything that you guys want to say as we're kind of wrapping up the interview? Is there anything that you want to like leave our audience with?
Yeah, we are Rusty Mullet, and our last EP we put out is called Wine and Cheese. You can find it on all music streaming platforms. It's got some good stuff on there.
Awesome.
It's groovy.
And then you guys had an Instagram as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's Rust or Death on Instagram. Come and find us there. Always posting stuff, and hopefully some more stuff soon.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And we'll have up on our Instagram at Poptarts in my VCR. We'll have something talking
Links
about this
to
as
you.
well. So if any of our listeners do want to do that as well, they can check on our Instagram, and we'll have a link over there as well.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so this has been our interview with Rusty Mullet. Please feel free to check them out. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with us today.
It's been wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.